Hello, good evening, everyone. Just a continuation of the Oracle HR configuration, which we started 2 weeks ago. So this is just a continuation and just a bit of a recap. So I'm not going to take too much time on the recap. I think 3 weeks ago we started on data entry, so people will know how data works, especially from the data entry point of view, how you can hire a new employee or maybe a contingent, which is like an agent, how you can, all the details which you need to complete. So on the details, I actually showed you some of the existing ones which I've already done. So, and I said for you guys to be able to set up yours and to be able to say, yeah, these are actually all the values based on the requirements I got from the company. This is what I'm going to set up. So what we started 2 weeks ago was, if you notice on step 1, we created KFF. The KFF, remember, consists of jobs, grades, people group, position, competency, and cost allocation. So we actually did that 2 weeks ago, and once we've done that, we actually created a business group, which we called Excel BG. And once we created the Excel BG, we created a responsibility. And once we create the responsibility, in the responsibility, we went into profile. That was last week. We went into profile and we added that responsibility. So we queried the responsibility and we added the business group to it. So, and that's why I say attach responsibility to your username. So you query yourself and you actually add the responsibility. So once you add the responsibility, so that's what I've got on my left hand side, which is called Excel Hcm Super User. That's the responsibility which we actually created, and these are the tasks which I'm able to do. And so, and what we also do, what we also did was somebody in the KFF, most of them have got value sets, and once they got the value sets, we actually added values to each one of them. I think we did that last week, and also we did that for the which is also the KFF. So last week we created location, we created jobs, we created the grade, we created grade rates, we created organizations, and I think we actually stopped at the organization. Now, the next one which we can go for, we can just say, okay, create an employee. Once you create an employee, the reason why we want to create an employee is for you to be able to see everything which you've actually created. It doesn't mean you're finished, but just for you to be able to say, okay, these are everything I've created, but there's still more configuration to be done. So if I go to, for example, it says create an employee. So if I go to, I think, number 35. So if I go to number 35, number 35, yeah. So create an employee. So for you to be able to create an employee, you go to people, enter maintain. So I'm in people, enter maintain. Just click on open. So it normally defaults to today's date, and when it defaults to today's date, so what you can do is to say, do you want to create the employee today or tomorrow, or it could be any date. Let's presume you want to create the employee today. Actually, let me go into the one which I've already created. So just to make it easy, so I've created one which is called, I just put Smith. So I just created an employee and I created a a supervisor. So this is one of the employees I've created. So this is an employee. So if you go to find, so when you create an employee, you just click on the last name. You click you enter the last name, the first name, the title. If you any prefix or suffix, you can add it. So these are the options which we already have for the title. You can add more to it, but I'm going to show you how to add that. So this is an employee. So that's the number which is auto-generated. If you have the NI number, you can just put NI number. I can just put T. Just add any NI number. at the moment this is not validated. If this is validated, this is a wrong NI number. It's just going to error out saying this is not recognized within UK. But at the moment this is not validated, so yeah, it will allow me to proceed into anything I want to do. Oh, actually it says invalid ID. So if I put PW392909C, so let me see if this is validated or not. Okay, so that's validated. So actually I think there's a validation on this. So now if there's no validation, anything you put there, it will proceed anyway. So you added the dates of birth, this is mandatory, and the status. On the status, you can add anything you want. These are what we have. So we can say living together, nationality, British. This area, you don't need to do anything anymore. So employment, like I said, you don't need to do anything here. So the only thing mandatory here will be the email address. Now this email address normally would be provisioned by the IT department. So the moment you set up this employee and you click on save, the IT department will automatically get the details and they will add an email address. And once they add the email address, it will automatically populate here. But this is not related to ID. This is just a test. So we can just put Smith at I will just say Excel, because that's the name of the business group, at excel.com, something like this. But normally IT always do this, so you don't need to do this. So, but provided this is the IT will provision it. So applicants, you don't need anything here. For the name, you don't need. Now for the name could be something like this. Because I put K here, so I can just put card in here. Then other, so you don't need anything here. You don't need anything on benefits. So this is fine. So once you're happy with this, then just save. So once you save, you go to address. You can add a dummy address. So let me just add a dummy address. And just click on OK. So on the type, it gives you what kind of type do you want. So let's presume this is a home for this employee. You just save it. And remember the yellow here is save. So once you save it, you can go out. You go to picture. You don't need a picture, so you can just ignore that. So you go to assignments. So once you go to assignment, remember there's nothing here at the moment. Remember we've created organization. We can just select one of the organizations, but these are some of the organizations. I think we only created one, so I can just click on find. There's only one that will come up. Only one comes up. We can add more, but just for testing purpose, we only added one, so that's fine. The same thing with job, nothing is needed here. So the same thing with job. I think if you click on this list of value, put percentage and say find. So there's only one, so just click on that one. So the same thing with grade. I think we only created one, so if I go back to grade, so just put percentage, find. It displays only one, that's fine. So the same thing with location. I think we created two locations, so if I just put Excel there, so it says Excel location office. So now in the group, I haven't done anything here at the moment. So there's actually I think I put some list of values. This is where I put 4 or 7 or those numbers. So we can just put 4 hours or 7 hours. And position, we're not using position at the moment, so we can just leave that. So payroll, I've not set up any payroll, so we need to set up payroll. So this is one of the few things which, based on what we've done so far, most of the values are coming out. So there's still more to be done. For example, we've not done position, we've not done payroll, so which we'll try to do today. So, and the next thing is we go to assignment status. In the assignment status, we can just put on full, but it's going to be full time. So yeah, full-time regular, that's fine. So once you've done that, if you notice salary information, I click there, there's nothing here because we haven't done it. So these are the kind of things which we need to do today. Supervisor, I can probably pick up supervisor, which I think I've done one. So if I can just put super. Yeah, so I've created, so because I only created two, so one is an employee, one is a supervisor, so I can select the supervisor. Probation, we don't need that. Look, standard condition, if it's going to be working 40 hours per week, just put 40 hours per week. So statutory, you don't need anything here. So the next thing is, which we need to do today, is to go to assignment DFF. Assignment DFF, there's nothing here at the moment than just a project manager. So we need to add more fields based on the requirement for the company. So these are the kind of setup which you need to do. So that's the reason why I said step 13, create an employee. The reason why you need to create an employee is just to check what else do I need to do. So that's what, now I'm not going to save this. So I'm going to go out. So remember what we need to do. Organization, we need to add more organization. Job, we need to add more jobs. Grade, we need to add more grade because at the moment, each one of them, there's only one. Location, we added only one, so we can add more. Payroll, we need to create a payroll. Also for salary information, we need to create salary information. So remember this payroll and salary basis, they go hand in hand. So these two are very, very important. So supervisor, we've already have a supervisor. And once we've done that, then we go to assignment DFF. So, and once we've done assignment DFF, there's still few things which we need to do. Something like, because once we've done this and we save it, we need to go into element. Element will be some of the allowances which will be applicable to that employee. We need to set up the NI, we need to set up the PAYE, we need to set up annual leave. So all these ones will come here, but at the moment there's nothing. So I'm just going to show you how to do that. So let's start from adding more organizations, jobs, grade, and location. So once we've done that, we'll do payroll and also salary basis. So we can just quickly do that because of our time. So I'm not going to save, so I'm just going to go out. Okay, so once, if you want to create, I mean, for example, if you want to do location, organization, grade, and job, there's only one place to come. Just come to work structure. You can see location, organization, job, position, and grade. So they are actually together. So we can actually create location. So let's just add one more location. I'll just say Excel a quarter. So you can add an address, save. So once you save that, you come to this DFF. Here, just put maybe home and just put yes there. Just put yes there and just put no there. And save. Just say OK and you can save it. Remember, I didn't untick this. This is global. Global means when you have many responsibilities, or maybe you are the company that operates in many countries, that automatically means that in other countries, in their own specific responsibility, they will be able to see this. But if I say local, that means this will only be applicable to United Kingdom. So that means if there's any Excel in US or in Dubai or any other country, they will never be able to see this location. But if you put it on local, they will be able to see it globally. So which is okay. So normally that's why it normally defaults to global. So we set up one. So let's just, I think two locations is okay. So let's go to organization. So in this organization, always make sure you have your date to 1951. Click on new. So we can just put Excel communication, and I will just say media, department, save. So normally it's always HR organization, and you click on enable, you save it. So let's do few more. X finance and accounting. This is a department. 1951, that's fine. Then you save. HR. So let's do a few more. Can you say Excel, IT, or just in information tech? That's okay. It's a department. Save. Then HR. Then save. I think this should be fine for now. So if we okay, actually let me do one more, then that should be okay. Remember, for me to do a new one, I just click on this green button. It automatically gives me this, and I just say X. I'll just say maybe security, department, save, then HR, enable, then save. So once you've done this, the next stage you need to do is to go to hierarchy. On this hierarchy, we set up one already, which is called Excel HR. This is just an hierarchy for you to know the hierarchy for each one of them. Now, what you need to do here is to query your business group. So if I go to our business group, it's called Excel. This is the business group, and under the business group, I've set this up before we started today. These are just a kind of division, so that all the departments, I will add them under these divisions. So for example, this is com. Under com, I will just click on this down arrow. Actually, before I do that, if you notice, under com, there's nothing there. It says 0. Under finance, it says 0. Under HR, it says 1. This is the one which if I go here, can you see it says X human resources. This is the one which I was able to assign to that employee. So that's not the one we wanted, so I can just go back. Okay, if you notice XIT, it says 0. That means there's nothing under each one of them. For me to be able to add the department we just added, I'll just click on the down arrow. And if you notice, I can just put on X. So I'll just see what is related. I'll just say, yeah, communication is okay. And I will save. Then I will go back again. Finance. Can you see? It says 1 because I just added a department. Finance, it says 0. I'll just click on the down arrow. So let me look for something that is a bit of finance. Yeah, finance and finance is here. So I will just save. Then I'll click on the up arrow. So what's next? So IT. There's nothing there. So I can just go, what is IT? So it's anything IT here. Yeah, information tech. So I can just add, also I can add maybe save. And I can add security because IT and security, they kind of go hand in hand. So I can just add security, making 2. So then save. So if you notice, each one of them, I've got a subordinate. And for you to be able to see the hierarchy, remember, this is the top level, and these are the divisions, and under the divisions, you got the department. In a very big organization, it will be more than this. But this is just for a testing purpose. So this will be very minimal. Now, for you to be able to see your hierarchy, you go to diagrammer, and I will query the business group, so the hierarchy, and I will go to open editor. And if you notice, it says what is the top hierarchy. This is the top. This is the name of the company, Excel BG. Now, if I scroll down, you can see all the divisions, And can you see they're just divisions? And under each division, if I click on the plus, you can see here under the division, I can see the organization. Under finance, I can see the organization. Under HR, I can see the organization. Under IT, I can see two, which is information tech and security. So, like I said, in a very big organization, you can have like almost, I don't know, maybe four, it could be close to 200, or it could be less than 200. At times, it's more than that. So, but this is just for testing purpose. So, this is what I mean by the hierarchy. But this is the top level. So, I can close this and close this. So we've set up the organization. The next thing we need to set up is just the job. So we've done the location, we've done the organization, we've added it to the hierarchy. The next thing is job. So for job, just click on new. So you default to today's 1951, that's fine. So here, actually we set up some bands last week. So we can just click on maybe just economy. And we can just click on economy, that's fine. And say OK and save. Oh, sorry, let's say classification, there's a DFF here. Here, just click on no. And that's all you need, and save. So once you save, you can just do more. Oh, sorry. We need to do more. So you click on the name. Yeah, we can do engineering. Go to the category, engineering. Go to the DFF. Just click on no here. And save. Let's do one more, and that should be enough. So let's go to finance. Finance. DFF. Oh my God. Then save. So once you've done that, the next thing you need to do, so we've done the job. So let's go to grade. I'm just going to leave position for now. Okay, so for the grade, I think I've done one, so we can just click on series sequence 2. So once I click on sequence 2, automatically the name comes up. So in the grade structure, let me just see what I've got here. Okay, so I can just click on, okay, so I can just click on human resources, number 2. Let me just say grade 2. So the same thing, number sequence 3. Yeah, that should be fine for now. So once you've done the grade, you go to grade rates. On the grade rates, I think we've created some Excel. So we just put 1. So I've done that one. I just say between 20 to 30. So I can go to number 2. So pound sterling. I can just say probably between 30 to 40. And the same thing, number 3. Between 40 to, let's say, 50. And if you notice, the moment I save, the made value keep on coming up itself. So that's fine for now. So that we should be fine with grade. So once you've done the grade, I think that's it for now. So if, for example, if we go back in to enter and maintain, so that we can check what you've done, just reset to today's date, and just for Smith, just query an employee. So if you go to assignments, so if you click on, for example, just click on the list of value, percentage. Before we used to have HR human resources. Now we have extra 5. sorry, extra 4, making 5. So I'm just going to say correction. Now if we go the same thing, if we go to job, percentage, find. Before we used to have one which is communication marketing. Now we have extra 3, so making 4. So that will make you to have a lot of choices. So let me just pick on 1 anyway. So for grade, the same thing. Go to the list of values, percentage, find. You can see initially we have only 1. I added 2 more. So that's what we got at the moment. So you can just select that. And the same thing with location. Before I used to have 1, now I've added just headquarter, so making 2. I mean location, most location could be like, I don't know, 40, but just for testing purpose, we only created 2. So just for you to know, once you add more, this is where you're gonna see them. So once you've done that, then remember we need to do payroll, we need to do salary basis as well. So I can just go out of here. Okay. So the first thing, let's try to set up payroll. For you to set up payroll, you need to do one thing, which is, oh God, I'm not sure if I've got it. I haven't got the rest. Okay, I think I will try to do from here. Okay. 1951. Okay, so the payment method, let me just say Excel direct deposit. Oh God. Let me just check what is here. So if I go to UK, is anything on UK here? Oh, Great Britain. Okay. Check AE. Okay. There's something I need to set up, but I haven't got it on this responsibility. So it's meant to be somewhere here, but it's not there. But let me see if I can use, okay, you know what, I think, let me see if I can just quickly use this. Let me try any other country. Let me just put Excel direct deposits. So let me see anything that is close to United Kingdom. So cash direct deposits. Okay, let me use anything on Azerbaijan. Not sure, that's United States. Oh, okay, that's fine. Oh, that's for checks. Yeah. Oh, that's back. Okay, that's fine. This is better. Okay, GB. So United Kingdom, then 1951, save. Bank. Okay, bank details need to be completed. Okay, so sort code. Let me just try to create 189 and see if that one will work. Bank name, Barclays Bank. Okay, account number 1234567 So then save. Save. Oh. Please enter the requirement of further. So that will be, I think it's somewhere here. Okay. So usernames, number 123, limit 1. Then save. Okay, that's good. Okay, remember Excel direct deposit. So once you've done that, we'll go to description. This is where we create a payroll. So we're creating a payroll for Excel. So we can just say Excel payroll. Subtype will always be calendar months. which is January to February, sorry, January to December. So first dates, normally it always, because I am in 1951, it always says 31st of January 1951. But you can change this because this company, we want this company to keep on existing for a very long time. So what you need to do, instead of starting from 1951, we can just say if the company actually started, let's say 10 years ago, so we can just say maybe 2009. So that's fine. So how many years do you want the payroll to run? So normally you can add any years you want. I can just put 40 years. So normal payments, bags processing, you can just leave this the way they are. That's not necessary for now. So on the consolidation, so let me just see if this one will come up with Excel. Oh, it says UKBG. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, actually it's UKBG, which I actually used initially. So cost allocation, we don't need this for now. Okay, so once you've done that, then we can go to valid. Now, if you, okay, actually, let me save first. Save. Oh, PAY. Start to 3. Oh, okay. PAYE. So, oof, I need a correct. I hope this will give me the correct one. I'm not sure. So, unique ID. Ah, okay, from the list. So, let me try this. Oh, there's no list. Oh, God, I need to set this up in organization. Okay. Yeah, I think this is going to be, I need to put the correct PAYE reference. So for me to be able to do that, I need to set that up in the business group for the PAYE. Okay, so let's leave payroll for now. So I need to set that one up because at the moment there's no list. So once I set it up, then I will be able to pick up the list. So alternatively, what I can do is to make this non-mandatory so I can bypass this. But for now, let me just leave payroll. So I will sort out the payroll later. So let me leave this for now. So or else it will not allow me to bypass it. So let me leave this. So if I go to, so that means we'll not be able to set up the payroll for now. So let me just leave this. So the next thing we need to set up is the salary basis. So let me go to salary basis, which will be compensation. Now, for you to set up the salary basis, we need to set up what is called an element, because salary basis, we only work on elements. So if I go to, so let me just say Excel, salary elements, or let me just say Excel, salary, if they're going to be paid monthly, so salary monthly. So you copy this, and this will be earnings, because it's always an earnings. Remember, in payroll we always have earnings and deductions, so your salary is always an earning. So that's why it's got a primary classification as earning. This is going to be recurring because you're going to be paid every month. So actual termination, that means it ends at the actual termination. Process run, because we're not running payroll, I can just untick this. If I want, I can just leave it there. If you notice, it's got the input value GBP, so which is fine. So once you're happy with this, then you just save. So the next thing you need to do is to go to input value. In the input value, you can just put amounts, just amounts. That will be fine. Or maybe I can just say monthly salary. And in the monthly salary, I can just put money. Then once you've done that, you click on required, because it's always required, and also database. It needs to be entered into the database. So, and also it can be entered manually. So then save. So once you save it, you go to, now we need to link this to payroll, but we cannot link to payroll for now because I did not set up the payroll. So, but we can still create the salary basis, which is here, salary basis. So if I go to, we can just say Excel, salary basis. Now, do you want this to be, there's for a few options here. So we have annual salary, hourly, monthly, or periodic salary. If you want it to be annual, we can just select annual. If you want it to be monthly, let's just say monthly. So just select on monthly. Once you pick up monthly, it automatically says 12. So the element which we created, we can just select it. Can you see? Exact salary monthly, which we created, is there. And it says, what's the input value? It's monthly salary. Once you do that, you go to this DFF. It says GB, we can just say GB. Now, this, so hours per year. These hours will be, I think, 50, 52. We have 52, we have 52 weeks in a year. So here we can just put, and this guy is going to be working, let's say, 40 hours every month, sorry, every week. So that'll be 0, 8, 0. So yeah, so it's gone down. Let me show you the calculation behind that will be, if I can just quickly show you the calculation. The calculation will be, let me just put on my mobile phone first. So 40 multiplied by, okay, so 52 divided by 4, 52 multiplied by, okay. Okay, so once you've done this, to be honest, based on this setup, this is not really required for this program, but I will show you how this calculation comes to pass, so I will let you know. But for now, this is the main setup which you can do for the salary basis. Once you've done this, you click on save, and once you save it, now once you save this, then you go to Oracle again, so which is people, enter and maintain. Then click on today's date. Submit. So we can just use this employee again. Go to assignments, and on the salary basis, you will be able to see the salary basis which you created. The salary basis, can you see? So that one is there. So what we need to do next is to, let's quickly, before I go to payroll, because I need to sort out this payroll maybe before the end of this program, or I will sort out this payroll before the by the next program. I will sort this out because I want to make sure maybe we bypass stopping me, so that we can just make sure we set up as much payroll as possible. So this is the salary basis. Then what we can do before the end of this program, let's set up the additional assignment details. If you notice, there's only one field, so we can set up as much as possible. So let me just cancel this. Now, for you to set up the DFF, we call it DFF, so you go to sysadmin, and you go to application, you go to flex field, descriptive flex field, then segment. And what you need to query, add assignments. So you can just, the one we actually wanted is this one. So for this, it actually works with business group ID, and our business group ID is actually, I will quickly show you. I've actually queried it. So our business group ID is this. So I'm just going to copy that, and I will go here. So in our business group ID, so what I need to do is just unfreeze and add it here. So create a new one. So I'll just add a business group ID. So I'll just say Excel BG. Then go here, or let me just say Excel business group. Let me just type in the whole lot, business group test. Just go on segments. Now this is where, now remember, this assignment DFF will consist of many fields based on requirements. So we can just add maybe 2 or 3 fields, and in this assignment DFF we can just say PTO. PTO balances, something like that. PTO balances is just paid time off balances. So we can just tap it there, and it says segments. So the column. So column, you can just put attribute 1. Value set, we're just going to do the attribute value set later. So I can just go here. What else do I want? I can just say I want, in case for agencies, we can just say we want the contract start date. Contract start date. So what is the attributes? So the attributes I wanted, I can just say number 2. We're going to do the value set later. So the next one, I can just say contract end date. So what is the attributes? So I can just say I want the number 3. So there's so much you can add here. So if I say we can just actually add maybe number 20, we can say contract. What is the contract type? So we can add, actually I can just add number 10, it doesn't make any difference. So no, I'm not doing the value set yet. So I can just go out. Okay. So then I can add one more so that we can just have, so I can say number 25. 25, I can just say probably local or local job title or anything. Actually, let me use this. I can just probably say I'm just thinking now. Okay, probably second supervisor, something like this. Second supervisor. Okay, I can just use number 11, then save. But just to let you know, when you're setting this up, the maximum you can set up here is only 30. Anything beyond 30, it will not allow it. So the maximum is 30. So now for the balances, because this is going to be number, I'll just go to value state. So I can just say PTO balances char or number. I can just say I want numbers. How many numbers? I can just say up to maybe 10. Then save. So I need to copy this so I can just add some values to this. So let me just put it somewhere here. Okay, so once you've done that, I can just copy and add it here. Do I want to make it mandatory? No, I don't want to make it mandatory. So I just remove the mandatory and save. Okay, so start dates. These are just dates. The standard Oracle would be, I think it's FND standard, if I'm right. I haven't done this for a while. I think it's FND standard. Oh yeah, I got it. Yeah, FND standard dates. I don't want to make it mandatory, so I can just remove. So this is Oracle standard, so I don't need to set it up. So the same thing, the end dates, just copy and put it here. I don't want to make it mandatory, so I can just remove it. So the next thing is contract type. So contract type is just a value. So I can just put contract type, and it's char because they're values. So how many do I want? I can just say up to 25. Then save. So I can copy that and add it here. Go to open. and required. I don't want it to be required, so I'll just save. So the next one is just supervisor. This is also char. I can just say second supervisor. It's also it's also a name, so we can just say char, and we can just put up to 40 because it's a name. So then save. We can just add it there, and that's fine. Then save. So we don't want to make it mandatory as well. Save. Okay, this one we need to add value to this, so I can just add it here. Okay, so once you're done, you can just freeze. But actually, you freeze. So save, compile. Okay, so once you've done that, we can go to, we need to add values to these two, because those are the main ones. So you go to validation, then add the value. So for the PTO, balance this. Okay. PTO. Okay. Yeah, for the PTO balances, you can just add any figure you want. So we can just say 30 there, 40, 50, or alternatively, we can make it a free text. But for now, I just want to use a value because normally balances could be anything. So I just want to add this for now, just for the sake of it. But it could be a free text. So contract type, you go out of here. So contract type, find. So a contract type could be, it could be an intern. Contract type could be, I don't know, fixed contract, temporary contract, then save, just for the sake of it or testing purpose. So that's fine. So if we go back to that employee, so Excel, Smith, find, assignments, then you go here. Can you see? This is everything we've done. PTO balances, contract start date, contract end date, contract type. So adding the PTO balances, you can see those balances here. Like I said, we can make this free text. You can see those 30, 40, and 50. We can make it free text. So start date, this is just a date, which is free text. You can type in a date. So remember, your date will always be something like 01 January, let me say 19. It will automatically says 2019. So it is very sensitive as well. You cannot just put maybe American style like 19, sorry, 01, 19. It's not going to take it. So it's going to be UK format. So those are the dates, so which you can add, and also in the contract type, you can see fixed, intern, and temporary. So yeah, and here this is a free text. You can just add any name you want. So that's that one. And also, so basically this is just the DFF. Now, just one more thing which we managed to do if I've got, now, I mean, what we can do next week, we're just going to create the salary basis. But before we do the salary basis, I just want us to create some few elements before I round up. I want to create some few elements. So once we create a few elements, then next week we will create the payroll, because all the elements needs to be added or needs to be linked to a payroll. The salary basis needs to be linked to a payroll, so which is what I will try to do next week, so we can know we have the full house. But before before I finish, let's quickly create some few elements. So anything I can remember on top of my head. So now remember, the elements, like I said, they're just allowances. Normally when you create a new hire, they are entitled to some allowances. So that's what I mean by elements. Normally in the Oracle world, they call it elements, but some people, they call it allowances. So most of you have done permanent job before. You are entitled to maybe travel allowance. You are entitled to various various earnings, which will be a kind of allowances, which is added to your salary. So it could be anything. So that's the reason why. So we can just set up these allowances here. So when you set it up, just create. Remember, change the date to 1951, January 51. So because I'm mindful of time, so I'll just create maybe 4 or 5 very quickly. So I can just say AX, so I can make it identifiable. Travel allowance. So for reporting purpose, we need this. Also for description, because it's an earning, it will be added to your. It's going to be earning, because it's going to be every month. Actual terminate, it finishes on termination. We don't need this because we're not doing payroll. So you save. So you go to input value. So this will be amount, because it's money. So unit is always money, and required database is not really required. So we can just say enterable or database. So that's fine. So let's add a few more. So X, okay, I'm just thinking, okay, housing allowance. So copy, earning, is recurring, is actual, we don't need this. So save, input, then it's an amount, then money, because unit is always money. Then database item. So let's do a few more. So X, food allowance, it's an adding, recurring, actual. So you remove this, save. So it's an amount, and it's morning, and it's database. And the next one, let's just do one more so that you can see Excel. Oh God, I'm running out of elements now. We'll just say let me just use this driving allowance. Okay, so copy, earning, and save. And this is an amount, morning, then database, then save. Okay, so we've done 4 elements or 4 allowances. So what we will do next week, we will add those allowance here with a something called link. So we go here. So just query one of the elements, just put Excel, then those elements will come up. So remember, we have this. This is the one which I've not actually added. We've done exit salary and monthly, and these are the 4 allowances which we just created. What we need to do next week is to add it. Just select one of them and add it to a payroll. At the moment, we don't have a payroll, so this is what I need to create. Once I create it, then next week we will link it to the Excel payroll, which I will try to create. So, like I said, something was blocking me. I need to do it from the sysadmin so that it does not block me anymore. So I will do that next week so that we can add it. Once we add it, so every element which we created, you will find it here. So if I quickly go to one of the employees. Okay, so put it to today's date. So if I click on Smith, so once I create the payroll, it will be here. Then the salary basis, I will add it here, which we've already created. So I will add it here. We've already done this. Then once we've done that, all the pay allowances which are created, I will need to add it somewhere here. So once I add it, then this will be complete. Then the next thing we need to do next week also is to start doing the annual leave. We need to add the NI and also the PAYE, so you can see everything in the payslip. So we can do that next week. So thank you very much. I'm done for today, so we can do the rest next week. Thank you so much. So let me just see if there's any question. For the yearly hours, did we multiply 52 by 41? No, it will be 52. It will be 52 by 40. Yeah, 52 by 40. Yeah. So the 40 would be if they work 40 hours per week. Thank you. Bye.